All right, taking you through this story that certainly raised a lot of questions on citizens and their rights. Here you have visuals that have come up showing a bunch of men in Uttar Pradesh's Bareilly praying namaz in a private property, and the police have detained them because they claim they were creating nuisance. Those are the grounds. Uttar Pradesh police, in fact, Uttar Pradesh police have detained 12 people in Bareilly for allegedly offering Friday namaz inside an empty house without permission. According to the UP police, these men need permission to be praying at a private property as well. The incident is from Mohammadganj village, a video that shows these men offering prayers as a group inside a vacant house. And let me tell you, the owner of this house has given his consent that they can use the property for namaz. Now, after this video went viral, the police stepped in and detained those seen in the video. Police say villagers had complained that the empty house was being used regularly for namaz and possibly they were trying to turn it around into a madrasa. Officers claim that they acted to prevent any tension and maintain law and order. Basically, preventive measure. Therefore, they've detained these men because they prayed in a private property. Again, let me stress here that this house belongs to a woman named Resham, and her husband Hasim Khan, we hear, died a few years ago. Resham and her children are currently living in another state, and they have given their consent. In fact, we hear that one of the relatives of the owner was also present there praying namaz with those men. Residents say the village does not have a mosque. That's what the Muslims there say, that they don't have a mosque in that area. They have to go nearly 3 kilometers away to find a mosque for Friday namaz. And so they decided that Resham's house, because she allowed it, could be used as a place for Friday prayers. It's a community prayer. Usually Friday prayers are a community prayer. You have people who gather at a mosque or at a private place. Usually prayer happens as a group, and it's a known fact, happens all over the world. These 12 people were then challaned under provisions linked to breach of peace. They were detained and challaned that you are ruining peace in the neighborhood, and therefore, because you have not taken permission for this namaz, you are coming with us to the police station. They were later produced before the magistrate's court as well and granted bail. Police are now trying to trace 3 other people who reportedly ran away as soon as they saw the cops. Let's take a listen.
दिनांक 16/1/26 को थाना विशारदगंज स्थित ग्राम मोहम्मदगंज से यह सूचना प्राप्त हुई कि कुछ व्यक्तियों द्वारा अपने निजी आवास को धार्मिक स्थान में परिवर्तित किया जा रहा था। संभावित विवाद के दृष्टिगत सभी संबंधित व्यक्तियों को पुलिस टीम द्वारा हिदायत दी गई कि इस प्रकार की पुनरावृत्ति न की जाए।
Now, the police have warned that starting new religious activities or gatherings on private premises without permission is against the law, and said such actions will not be allowed in the future. But the detentions, of course, sparking a lot of political reactions and some serious questions on what grounds really have the police detained these men. In fact, the Congress has spoken. You have Congress leader Shama Mohammed asking on what grounds these people were detained. Questions as expected. What law did they violate? Also, AIMIM leader Waris Pathan also raising such questions, asking what wrong did they do.
कौन से कानून के तहत, कौन से कानून के प्रावधान के तहत आप इनको अरेस्ट कर सकते हो, हिरासत में ले सकते हो? संविधान का आर्टिकल 25 इजाजत देता है राइट टू प्रेसिडेंट का। कोई नमाज पढ़ रहे थे और किसी को तकलीफ नहीं दे रहे थे, किसी को डिस्टर्ब किए बिना अगर कोई नमाज पढ़ रहा है तो इतनी नफरत आप फैला दोगे? अरे हमारे हिंदू में अपने घर के अंदर प्रार्थना करते सब करते, कभी तो वीडियो बना के डालता है, तो आपत्ति नहीं उठाता है किसी पर भी। तो इस तरह से आप ये नफरत का मुजाहरा जाहिर कर रहे हो तो आप बाद में तो अरेस्ट कर लोगे।
Well, of course, this has raised a lot of questions now around religious freedom versus public order. Have they violated public order? Have they really threatened peace by praying inside a private premises? Faith and its practice, like namaz, are constitutionally protected under Article 25 of the Constitution. Every religion has their right to practice. People have their right to practice their religion. But police now arguing that such gatherings at places need permission. They say we cannot allow for this kind of gathering and worship in just about anywhere. But remember, it's a private property with the owner consenting for them to use that property. Well, was this really law and order management or selective policing? Can the state really regulate where citizens pray Do people need permission to pray in a private home? And would this be the police's response had it been people of another community? Let me bring in our guest joining us, A.K. Jain, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. We also have Advocate Sanjeev Unyal, political analyst, and also Atikur Rahman, researcher, Islamic studies. I really appreciate all of you for joining us. A.K. Jain, who's a former DGP of UP, my first question to you is, on what grounds, sir, in your expertise, do you see that the police have detained them? They say they were disturbing law and order. I don't understand how.
Even I was very surprised when I read about this detention part. Then I went into detail. I'm told that in this village, there was an agreement 30 years back between Hindus and Muslims that no mosque or madrasa will be constructed and no temple will be constructed in the village.
Okay.
Hindus and Muslims, they have abided by this agreement till now. Now the Hindus say that this house is being used for the purposes of namaz, and the numbers are increasing. Hindus complained and went to the police station Bisharatganj of Bareilly. The sub-inspector turned them away and said ki we want documentary evidence and only then we will take action. So then they produced some video at police station. After that, the sub-inspector and police visited and told these people that if there is an agreement between in the village and there is tension because of that, then it should be avoided and namaz should be read in separate homes, and there shouldn't be any congregation. Otherwise, there'll be breach of peace in the village. So this is the issue.
But
and the
sir,
lady,
but who? My question is, yeah. Okay, go on, complete.
And the owner of the house, I have seen the video in which she is saying that I am a lonely woman, old woman, and these people used my house without my permission, and they should not have done it. So this is the crux of the matter. I don't think because people are reading namaz, so that's why they have been detained. It's because of the particular nature of this village. That and particular.
No, but this village, then this village can't have separate rules as per what the constitution says. This village should abide by the Indian constitution. It can't work in a silo. It can't say that we had an agreement and internal understanding that we will not have any. But either way, sir, this is an assumption that they are creating or setting up a madrasa. There is no proof. Who's setting up a madrasa? These men said that they were only gathering there because mosque was 3 kilometers away. It was difficult for them to get there every Friday. So they decided that in the neighborhood, the lady has agreed. I have not seen Miss Resham's video saying that I do not want them to use these premises. In fact, I hear that Miss Resham's family member was also praying with those men.
Might be correct. I don't know, but I have seen one video in which the old lady is saying that I have never permitted these people to use my house. I stay alone. I can't pick up enmity with other people. I can't lodge complaint against them, but I am against it. So whatever may be the reasons, this is a very peculiar instance. I am told that it has been prevalent in that village for the last 30 years. I don't know what was the reason for coming to such an agreement. And it's very.
But does this agreement hold good under court of law?
No, not court of law. You see, these are local disputes. And
so in local disputes, sir, the police have some kind of community sensitivities? While the police detain, well, the police is now detaining, nearly arresting, you're arrested them. The police arrested these men. On what grounds? There should be some ground just to say that they are violating peace. What peace?
You are absolutely correct. But I don't know about the agreement, what agreement these people had for the last 30 years. Why is there no temple? Why is there no mosque in the village? We will have to go into details of that.
So you're saying there's no temple, there's no mosque. There's no temple also, there's no mosque also, and now the villagers are aggravated that men are congregating in a certain house, which is basically looking very crowded and threatening to them.
No, and trying to convert it into a mosque.
But this is their assumption. There is
Yeah,
no
this
fact,
is
there is no proof of that.
this is pure assumption because they have not done it so far. But because they are complaining continuously to police. That's why they visited. They have been warned not to collect at one place so that there is tension in the village. And I think they must have agreed. I don't know what is the agreement between the villagers. I'm
But
absolutely not
just
aware.
as a person of law, sir, would you believe that to pray in a private home or a private property, is that objectionable? Is that legally wrong under law?
No, not at
No.
all. Not
Okay,
at all.
that's it.
This is something. This is some local affair. This is some local agreement. I don't agree with it.
Advocate Sanjeev Onyal, would you want to come in on that?
There are 3 points, first of all.
Yeah.
Because there was an agreement. So if MOU is there between two communities, between two parties, it really become part and parcel of the constitution. So because for peace and upliftment of that area, development of area, they have made an agreement, MOU. So they have to follow that. And that lady, I have heard an article and heard a video also, the owner of this land, she went to these Hindu groups and told that they are unnecessarily indulging in my property and doing namaz over there. They're going to build it this masjid
Madrasa,
like that property in the near future also. So they themselves went to the police station because she was alone. She was not there to dare those who were doing namaz over there. So she herself went to the Hindu group. Hindu went to the police station. So if they want to abide by the rules of this MOU, then they cannot go for this namaz. And secondly, if this property is a residential property, if I'll take the law of the land is, this property is residential property. So residential property cannot be used for other activities. So there are so many clarifications under different
what is
section
other
of civic
activity?
law.
Then in that case, in my house, if I want to have any, if I'm a Christian or a Hindu, if I want to have a puja, I'm not supposed, it will turn into a temple. It will turn into a temple. Then
But you are allowing them. You are allowing them, and only for 1 day or 2 days, but not for the continuous prayer and doing namaz over there continuously from so many times, so many years.
Every Friday,
20,
yes.
30 times. So and moreover, I in one of your show, you have asked me, some people were doing Hanuman Chalisa. So you objected it.
Precisely.
You were the anchor in that program.
Yes, I objected it because it was public space,
And
not
that
private.
was not the house
It
also.
was not private.
And that was
It
not
was
the
public
house.
space. Exactly. That's
So
precisely
that was
what I'm
not the
saying.
house.
Exactly,
Only
you're
that
saying it
was
right.
half an hour.
Sir, you're saying it
So,
yourself. It was
Hanuman
not a
Chalisa,
house, it was a public space. Hanuman Chalisa was being
Chalisa
read
for
in front of a
half an hour.
church. That was Hanuman
Hanuman,
Chalisa was
you
read
are
in front of
doing
a
left
church.
you
Hanuman
want
Chalisa
to
was being
say-
read in front of a church.
You want
That
to-
was
you
not
want
disturbing
to-
law and order.
You have some
No
notion
arrests
might
were
be
made there.
during your program. But how you can say for 30 minutes of Hanuman Chalisa, they are doing this prayer 4 times in a day, continuously for 15
No,
days,
sir,
30
it's one Friday afternoon
herself
namaz.
complain.
I think you've mistaken.
Honor herself complain.
I think you've mistaken. It's one Friday afternoon namaz. One namaz Friday afternoon inside a private property. You said it very right. They did it
No,
inside.
she was saying.
They did it
Now,
inside a
Honor
private
said
property.
that I have not given them the permission,
That
first
is
of all.
where we don't have any proof of that, sir. That this is you're
Then you
saying
don't
it.
have any proof
No,
that she has given
we
the
have not
permission.
seen any video. You can give.
You
You can
don't have any
please.
proof
You can
that they have
please
given the
offer that
permission?
video to us. We'd like to play
You
it. If
see
you have
about
it.
the miserable condition
If
of
you
that
have
old
it, you
lady.
give it to us. We'll play it up.
They are capturing that property. They are illegally entering that property. You should have a voice of that lady.
Why don't you become the voice?
Why you are becoming a voice of Muslims and namaz
Sir,
instead of
I'm
becoming
not
a
a voice
helper?
of Muslims and namaz.
You
I'm the
should
voice
help.
of a citizen of
You should
India.
help that
I'm the
lady.
voice of a citizen
Being
of
a
India.
lady,
I'm a voice
being a
of the
Muslim
citizen of
lady,
India. So you are
Yes,
making
you
claims. We
follow.
don't know.
You should
We
follow
don't know.
Constitution of India. You should have a
This
voice
is
of that
precisely
Muslim
this
lady.
is precisely why I
instead
asked
of
the
becoming
cop.
a voice of namaz.
I asked the cop. The police officer has clearly said by no law it says
No,
that
he
you
clearly
cannot
said
pray in private
that there was
property.
a MOU.
The police on our panel has
putting
said
your
there
words
is
in
no
his mouth.
law that objects you from
Mr.
praying
A.K.
in a
Jain-
private property. All right.
Mr. A.K. Jain clearly
You
said
are an
they
advocate,
entered
sir. You
illegally.
should know better. You should know
They are
better as an
illegal
advocate.
occupants. They are
Okay.
illegal occupants.
Atik, why don't you tell us, slow and steady attempts to turn it around into a madrasa? This is what is being claimed. The villagers are agitated. They are seeing so many people congregating. They're probably feeling uncomfortable, and they're going to the police to say their peace is being disturbed. And this is on the grounds and basis with which the police have detained them. Do you look at this as plain and simple? The police are doing their duty to maintain peace in that village.
Nabila, it's been around 48 hours of this incident, and you see how the things are getting murkier and murkier. New things are being, evolved out of this incident.
What do you know of the
MOUs
incident? What do you know of the incident?
I am not in any way in touch with any of the local people. What the media says, only I am, speaking on that behalf. And what I am, learning from your panel just now, that there was a 30-year MOU. Mr. Jain said it is an agreement.
I'm actually baffled to hear about an MOU. What kind of MOU 30 years ago that said we will never, and that MOU is now being honored today by the police detaining men who are praying namaz?
Jamila, we need to understand all these things into proper perspective. You see, the problem is somewhat larger, that anything in the name of Muslim and Islam is barred. You cannot do it. You cannot do it because you are a Muslim. There are both across the countries near the, big temples that Muslims cannot sell their wares. Muslims are not allowed business. Muslims cannot enter the city. Now, this is becoming a very, very common phenomena in India.
No, I think this could be a little bit of a blanket statement, sir. I would not like to fearmonger on the panel here. There is no situation like that I see so strikingly. There could be rare instances like this, which we have picked up and we are speaking about it. But as I would refuse to believe that Muslims are in danger. That's a theory that I don't want to believe. I will not believe, because I'm one of them in the country, very, very safe and thriving.
Nabila, I never said that Muslims are in danger. I am quoting you from the Times of India. There are not less than 10 places in India wherein Muslims are not allowed to do their business, small businesses.
Oh, really?
I am not talking of big hotels and industry. Small where they are not permitted. Just 2 days back, there was an article in South India, a temple which kept a board that Muslims are not allowed to do any activity, they cannot sell anything. And Muslims are barred from that temple area. So these are very common phenomena, I mean to say. I never said Muslims are in danger. Secondly, now you connect all these dots with what is A.R. Rahman is saying about the film industry. And Mohan Bhagwat ji, the RSS chief, is saying that in 25 years, in 15 years, this will be a Hindu Rashtra. This is a slow poisoning, Jabila, towards the Hindu Rashtra.
Sir, one, my name is Nabila. Two, A.R. Rahman. A.R. Rahman has said what he said. He's free to his opinion. A.R. Rahman has said what he said, sir, but A.R. Rahman has become A.R. Rahman in the same Bollywood that he's speaking of today, no?
We can be exceptions. What I am trying to convey to you and your viewers is, visible Muslim is an invisible citizen in India.
I feel this is basically issues that happen in spurts across the country. It can happen with any, but of course, my question here is about this very particular case where they're praying inside a private area. Now, speaking of A.R. Rahman, I'm sorry, sir, again, he is entitled to his opinion, but I believe A.R. Rahman has thrived in India. He's flourished. He's brought us global. He's got India also a lot of global recognition and fame. He's a stellar artist.
Thriving. They are under the lens of
Sir,
the police.
but Sonu Nigam is also not getting enough work. Sonu Nigam is also not getting enough work. Shankar Mahadevan is also not getting enough work. Alka Yagnik is also not getting enough work. They all have little work is shrinking for them.
These
Okay.
12 Muslims are the guinea pigs.
Sir, I don't agree with that entirely. I don't know what element of truth there is, I don't know. But objectively, if I look at it in a broad picture, A.R. Rahman probably should reinvent. He should probably come up with more new age music. Tastes and sensibilities are changing, so probably why he's getting lesser work. Alka Yagnik, Shankar Mahadevan, Sonu Nigam, they're all now switching to singing in concerts and live stage performances because their work kitty is also shrinking. All right, so let's keep that story aside altogether. Now, speaking of this very case, my question here to our Mr. A.K. Jain, as a former cop, sir, when Hanuman Chalisa can be chanted outside, prayers can be done outside, pujas can be done on the road, I highly doubt there is permission being taken everywhere. And it happens very rampantly, and there's there's a understanding that people have in India, which is a secular country. Hindus, Muslims, Christians have a very beautiful understanding. Nobody really opposes to the other. Now it's getting a little too visceral, but Hanuman Chalisa being chanted outside, Sir said, he himself said, Sanjeev Unial, that when we had a debate on how during Christmas there were carols being sung at a church, a group of extreme right-wing Hindutva activists went and stood there and started singing Hanuman Chalisa. Now that indeed to me is disturbing law and order, but there were no arrests there.
Arrest should have been there. Arrest should have been there. At several malls and other places, some activists, they created nuisance and they were arrested, and many of them are still behind bars. Such activities should not be encouraged in our country. I am firmly of the opinion that we have very good relationship. We have very good relationship. I have many Muslim friends, and we have excellent relations with each other in this country. And I don't think such extremist views are required in this country. This village, I think there is some peculiarity to it. I will have to find out why there is no temple, because generally a village with a 3,000 population should have a temple, should have a mosque. Mosque is 1 kilometer away in another village, neighboring village. But people avoid going 1 kilometer, and they have started doing namaz in this house. Lady herself objected that my house should not be used for namaz because no permission has been taken from me, and I am a very old lady. So I don't know what is the reason behind it.
The information that we have clearly states that the owner has not objected to it.
I have seen videos. I have seen her voice. I don't think it is AI generated video.
She must be intimidated, sir.
Very old lady.
She must have been intimidated.
She is giving a statement to the TV person that I have never permitted it, and they have started using my premises for namaz. I was in the fields when they came here and started offering namaz here. I don't know what peculiarity is there. One will have to find out. But such instances, if people collect on a roof or in a house, and they offer namaz, people don't object to it at all in cities and other places. It has never happened. There's something special, I think, for this village, which we will have to find out. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. The questions that people ask is, if it was a puja happening instead, would there be a similar action, arrests in such a nature?
I'm told that in this village, people are against it. They always complain that they are doing this religious activity and they should be stopped. So I don't know what is the history behind it. We will have to find it out. But this is an unusual thing, and I think police have just done it. I read the statements of few people that वो कि थाने पे गए, थाने वालों ने वापस लौटा दिया, फिर proof लेके आओ. Then they again went with the video, and then some inspector came. So I don't think police will also be very happy to act in such cases. But when they see that there might be trouble at local level in the village, then they come naturally just to maintain law and order. That's all.
No, but to maintain law and order, they've arrested them, taken them to the magistrate's court, and
these are just preventive detentions. Took them to police station. They were released after that. They were told not to congregate at one place. They should go and offer namaz in.
So you're saying, Mr. A.K. Jain, that tomorrow if a bhajan or a satsang happens, a weekly prayer that happens of that nature with about 15 people, they could be arrested?
Yes, it might happen in this village. This is what is the problem.
I mean, but you know, doesn't bode well, doesn't sit well, has no logic.
Yes.
It is against the constitution. The police cannot arrest them. You're saying it could happen in this village. I don't know how is the police then bending to such, you know, archaic understandings. It's not even a proper documented, signed, you know, agreement.
Even if it is documented, police is not supposed to intervene, but there
Correct.
must have been some history of the village of communal tensions. That's why I think they visited, because there shouldn't be any trouble. That's all.
Okay.
Nobody in police also, people don't feel happy by making such detentions or taking them to police station or increasing their unnecessarily workload.
I mean, I feel the police should have probably acted with a little more sensitivity, considering it's a religious prayer. It's not like as if they. And then there were talks about land grab and you know, all of these are unfounded, baseless. So far, what we hear, it's unfounded and baseless. Now, if the police produces further proof or documentation over time, we've got to wait and watch. But for now, there is no proof that they were turning this into a madrasa or a mosque. It was just a simple Friday namaz that these men were praying at a private property, which they claim they had permission to. The owners gave them that permission to pray there, as mosque was 3 kilometers far away. So they decided to pray there every Friday. It's been happening for a few weeks or months. A final word I will give to Mr. Sanyal. Sir, what would be your take on this? Yes, sir. Sanyal.
Unyal,
I beg your pardon, sir.
Ma'am, Atikur Rahman has his own version, but you have given him a very appropriate answers. Now I'll be on the topic. Yes, namaz cannot be objectionable at all in Bharatvarsh. Nobody says a namaz cannot be objectionable, but if the neighbors, if the villagers have any objection, then they have to raise it. They are going to a proper channel. They are going to the police. They are not slapping. They are not taking them out themselves. So this community, Hindu community, always knock the door of the constitution. They have gone to the police. They have given a complaint. So they have not taken law in their hand. So this is the beauty of Hindus. It speaks volume about that particular religion. Secondly, they have gone and police has taken care, because law and order should be maintained in the area. So they have taken in, FIR might be registered against them. And moreover, the third party's owner has never given them permission. So it is a matter to be analyzed. MOU is concerned, analyzed, interpreted by the court of the law. Then law of the, so it will definitely go in the courts. So they will interpret whether this is legitimate, this MOU or not.
Okay. Finally, Atik.
Sir, the police version is absolutely different from what you are saying. The police is saying that just to maintain law and order. Now, may I know from you, sir, that offering namaz without any music, without hampering any traffic, was there any violation of any civic law? Your version is very different from the police version. You're just making stories, sir.
Well, we'll see what in the days to come. Each day as it passes, with the media attention on it, it seems like more information is coming out. I didn't even know that there was an MOU and understanding of such nature that no namaz or no temple or mosque will be built in that village. And if anything like this happens, then they rush to the police. That's a backstory which I was not aware either. But well, we've got to wait and watch. And now we believe all those men have been given bail and they're out free. Thanks very much, Mr. Atik, Unyal and AK Jain for joining us.